Now I know what you're thinking. What does this follically challenged yet stunningly handsome man understand about hair and makeup? Well, that's a fair question, and one I'm going to answer in this video. As fire manipulators, fire is often going to be in close proximity to our head, which means it's essential to understand how a flame reacts with makeup, hair products, and even different hairstyles. First, let's cover hair. We learned in the clothing video that tighter weave fabrics of the same composition are more resistant to flame and burn more slowly. The same is true for hair. The less oxygen surrounding individual hair strands, the harder it's going to be for it to catch fire and stay on fire. So hair products, or even hair type and styles that allow more oxygen between hairs, need to be treated with more care. For this reason, wherever possible and certainly during practice, I always recommend that hair be tied back and any loose strands are clipped down. This will make your hair much harder to ignite and help keep you safe. But what about hair products? I think it's safe to say that at some point, most of us have seen someone create a mini flamethrower from an aerosol can before. So it stands to reason that these products are unsafe, right? You'd be surprised, but many aerosol applied products, once their solvents have evaporated and the hair is set, are actually no longer flammable. In some cases, it could even make hair a little safer, if the desired goal is to give the hair less volume and keep it flat against the head, providing the product and the hair have fully dried. Like with many things though, there are exceptions to this rule. Some aerosols can leave behind combustible substances, and for this reason, it's important to test your products. The way we do this is to spray a normal amount onto a flat, non-porous, non-combustible surface. We then wait 30 minutes to an hour before testing the product against a naked flame. If a product ignites easily and continues to burn once the flame is removed, it is not safe to use on your hair. Other hair products may contain substances that do make hair more combustible. These include products that contain oils such as hair and beard oils, styling wax, or silicone and oil hybrids, which are commonly used in heat protectant sprays or anti-frizz serums. These will vary in combustibility and should also be tested in the same way. I'll include a more comprehensive list in the written documentation for this video. In the case of beards and mustaches, I recommend entirely avoiding any products due to the close proximity it can have to the flame. It's not uncommon to get some singed hairs, particularly on overhanging mustaches and during certain techniques. If you're particularly precious about your facial hair, you can lightly mist it with water from a spray bottle, which will make it much less likely to burn. Let's move on to makeup. Once dry and set, most makeup is not a fire risk. This is partly due to it being applied to our skin, which has much less surface area when compared to our hair. Now, most makeup will char and melt under flame, but will not sustain a flame once the heat source has been removed. The only major exception to this rule is mascara. Most mascaras contain combustible materials and also give our lashes more volume and length, which increases surface area and makes combustion easier. False eyelashes are going to behave in a similar way due to the added surface area and length. However, they're also made of synthetic fibers, and no one wants melted plastic in their eye. Now we can test these makeups in the same way as hair products, and due to the huge amount of products available, I'd always recommend you do. In the case of mascara though, it's difficult to replicate the added surface area it gives us on our eyelashes. But to my knowledge, there is no fire-safe mascara on the market, but if this changes, I'll add it into the documentation. It's also worth thinking about synthetic compounds in our makeup. As we learned with our clothing, many of these synthetics melt under the heat of a flame. Things like glitter rarely ignites by itself, but it can melt and bond to the skin if exposed to a flame. One last honorable mention is nails. Most nail polish is going to be fine once set, however fake nails can be unsafe due to their combustibility. They're also made up of synthetic compounds, which means they will also likely melt when exposed to the heat of a flame. Fake nails do not normally ignite quickly, but if exposed to a flame for long enough, they melt, burn, and can stick to skin. This makes them more dangerous than bare nails, even if the flame is small. Ultimately, each performer is responsible for testing their own products and making safe decisions based on their own risk tolerance. The information in this video is generally accurate, however, due to the vast amount of products out there, it's always best to check each one before use. Now, there's a lot of nuance on this topic, and I'll cover things more at length in the written documentation. But in the meantime, stay safe, and if you do, you'll avoid ending up like me.